Okay, let's get to the nitty gritty. This have caused a lot of problems around the world, and it have caused certain people to be targeted. Now, you go to Genesis 10, and you go to 1, and you go to 5, but you can go all down to see who God gave their own land after the flood. All right, because there's no such thing as a motherland called Africa. Africa was not open for business. Neither was Europe before the flood. Read from Adam and go all the way to Noah and tell me, do you hear anything about nations? But after the flood, you hear everything about certain nations coming up, and then you hear tribes. But before that, there was no tribes, all right? So, which means no other nations. Now, Japheth is Noah's son. Noah told this guy and his wife to go to Europe. And you see Ashkenazi, so we know we talking about Europeans. And they had to make all the races. Imagine you was told to go to Europe, you and your girlfriend, and create 54, I think it's 54 or 45 different races in Europe. All of them white people, all of them European, but they all are different races. Like you got Germans, you got Greeks. If a German and a Greek have a baby, that's race mixing because it's not a full Greek and it's not a full German. You can race mix among yourselves, okay? Now, even in Africa, there's 45 to 54 different Africans. They can race mix among themselves because an Ethiopian is not a Ghanaian. That's a half and half child, even in the black race. Okay, let's stay wise. Let's open up our minds and move along. Here's Romans 2 and 14. For when the Gentiles, see, that's that there. Anybody that's not chosen is a Gentile, which have not the law, do by nature things that contain in the law. These having not the law are a law unto themselves. And we'll get into that a little different, in a minute. Which mean not having no laws and stuff like that mean you can't cleanse yourself of sins. You can't get right. You're born to be doomed. You can't correct yourself. I don't care how proper you love God and all this. You can't be cleansed. You're not even noticed by God other than to be born to cause conflict to the ones he chose to have them fight diversity to show they love to God to make it back to him. That's the only reason you're born, to cause conflict. So the ones that he chose can prove they love and come back to God. In medieval times, you see here, you got Japheth. Where is it? I thought his name was up here. But anyway, European people. That's where I got this from Google. It even says European people. Okay. Galatians 4 and 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. If God says there's no motherland named Africa, I'm going with God because God have wrote this. It has never changed. And I'm going with a story that never changed, where man changed a story every 15 minutes. Go to Barnes& and Noble bookstore, and you will see books wrote about some things you have read in the past up to this date, and it's a different story. Just think about how they talk about what food is bad for you, what food is good for you, what cigarettes would do. Everything, what I'm trying to get to, people keep changing dialogue. But God's story ain't never changed. So I'm going to stick with something that's stuck on the same versus everything somebody else is saying 24/7. Every day. Lies, 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 lies. And this Bible ain't never changed. So I'm going to go with that. Okay. Now, do I see conversion? King Bulan. Look up Wikipedia. It spews out a lot of good stuff that people try to hide. Conversion. He changed these people. And he was born in the 700s BC. Okay? And he changed the people into Jews. You can't be changed into Jews. We'll get to that. Now, let's look at this. Nations began at the same time. You see what they say, 2500 BC? Remember, when the world started, the numbers were high, and they ran themselves down to the low numbers and started from 1 and then start going up. So that's how everything is counted far as years. It start very high, work its way down to 1, and then start off from 1 up, like where we at today. Okay, so to make sure that I'm saying this right, there are scriptures alongside each one of these points. Because remember, the Bible don't change. So, African's birth through Ham. You see where that's pointing. See, this year the same. Shem. Black's birth, because we are not Africans. We are Semites. All the slaves are Semites. And the people that have their own country, like Africans. See, slaves don't have a country. We don't have a home. We are being hosted by our slave land and the people that enslaved us in America. We are hosted. Africans are not hosted. They actually home. You get what I'm saying? Even when we have a home in America, we're considered homeless because we're not home. Home is Jerusalem. Africans can be homeless, but they are home. You get my drift? Okay, stay wise. Let's roll on. Okay, blacks came through Isaac. See that? Get a look at it. Freeze it. Get a look at that. Now let's continue. Romans 9:7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. So out of all the children Abraham had, only the seed. That's why God said, I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the way he wove it. It's a family bloodline, and that's the way it is. Okay? And then you back this up, freeze that. Okay. Now let's go here. John 15:16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. And I ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, that your fruit should remain, that your fruit should remain. So we have not went extinct. All these ancient people are here today, that they remain. That's whosoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name may give to you. Let's go here. Now, far as God, like I said about, let's go here right quick. The Gentiles having not the law. Remember that? Romans 2:14. Well, we go here. And what this say? Psalms 147:20. He have not dealt with that with any other nation. As of showing his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye God. Nobody on earth is noticed by God, like I said in my previous video, and nobody was shown or given the commandments to clean them from sin. He just said here, he's done that with no other nation. It's rough, but that's God, and I don't apologize for God. He wrote it, and that's the way it's going to stay. I don't care how you change it, it's going to be the same.